Hello, Sudoku friends, and welcome to a remake of an older puzzle that I solved some time ago. It's been brought to my attention, and thank you very much for this, that there was an inconsistency in my solve. I probably got lucky finding a 5 where a 5 could have also gone in column 9. Let's not rehash all of that, but I'm eager to do this puzzle again without the offending 5 and to show that the puzzle can be solved without being lucky, as it were. So thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. I will now attempt to solve this puzzle again. I don't really remember at all how I solved it the first time. So without further ado, let's get started. The 7 here and the 7 here puts a 7 in this cell. I should probably mention that I think it was an expert puzzle by Sudoku.com. Anyway, there's a 7 here and a 7 here, and they block, of course, these cells here, and therefore this cell must be a 7. The 8 here and this 8 block all these 5 cells, and therefore an 8 must go in this cell. There's a 2 here that blocks these cells, and there's a 2 here that blocks this cell, so a 2 will have to go in this. And therefore, a 2 will have to go in this cell up here because we now have a 2 in both of these rows. We have a 5 in row 3 and we have a 5 in row 1. We need to find a home for a 5 in row 2, and the only place it can go is here. We have an 8 in this row that blocks this cell, and we have an 8 up here in the corner that blocks these cells. And we have this 8 here that blocks this cell, and therefore an 8 for column 3 will have to go in either of these two cells. And that leaves only this cell for an 8 for column 2. And because we found this 8, we now know that this cell must contain a 6 because we have a 6 up here and we have a 6 up here, and they block all of these cells. Therefore, this is now a 6. The 9 here and the 9 here puts a 9 in one of these two cells, and therefore a 9 for column 1 will have to go either here or here. And the other digit will have to be a 1 because we have a 1 that can see this cell here. So a 1 can't go here, and therefore these two cells must be a 1 and a 9, making this cell here a 3 and making this cell a 3. And because we found this 3 here that blocks these cells, we know that a 3 for row 2 must go here or here, and therefore cannot go in any of these cells. And it cannot go in this cell either because of the 3 here. So this is where the 3 must go. And now this cell, of course, is a 3 because we got the 3 here and the 3 here and the 3 here and block all of these cells. So the 3 will go here. This cell up here now must be a 4 because there is a 4 already here that blocks this cell from being a 4. So the 4 must go here, and the last digit here is going to be a 1, and this is going to be a 9. We need to find a 1, 4, 5, and an 8 for these 4 empty cells. There's a 5 and an 8 and a 1, and they all block this cell, and therefore it must be a 4. And a 5 and an 8 now must go here, and that makes this cell a 1. The 1 here and the 1 here and the 1 here puts a 1 in this cell. Now one of these two cells must be a 1. I don't know which one yet. But these two cells must be a 3 and a 2. There's a 3 already here, so the 2 goes here and the 3 here. And this 3 now, and this 3 puts a 3, of course, in this cell. What else do we have? We, of course, have a 4 that must go here to complete the row. And now the 4 here and the 4 here puts a 4 in this cell. Now we have a 4, 6, and we have a 4, 6, and that makes these two cells a 4, 6, doesn't it? So if these are 4 and 6, where can we now put a 1 in this row? It can't go here, here, or here because we have a 1 here, here, and here. So it must go here. And the missing digit now here in the column is a 9. It goes here. These two cells now have to be a 5 and an 8. And these still being a 4 and a 6, and this is a 5 or an 8, then one of these two will have to be a 9, won't it? Since we have a ghost 9 here and we have a 9 up here, all of these cells are blocked from containing a 9. And the 9 here blocks this cell. Therefore, this must be a 9. And this cell now is a 5 or a 2. This is also a 5 or a 2. And this is where I made a mistake in my first recording of this solve. And again, I'm very sorry about that. I do not cheat when I make puzzles. I just simply entered a 5 here because, yeah, I don't even know why, but I did. So we will not do it this time. We will find a better, clean way to solve this puzzle. This cell must be a 1 because we have a 1 here and here, and they block these cells, don't they? And we have this 1 here, and the 1 here blocks these cells. Therefore, one of these must be a 1. So a ghost 1 here and a 1 here, all of these cells now are blocked from being a 1, leaving only this 1. So as we remember, these two are 4 and 6. We still need a 2 as well for this column. And since it can't go here because it is a 4 or 6, it also can't go here because of the 2 in this row. So the 2 must go here now. And now the 2 here and the 2 here puts a 2 in one of these two cells. And it's worth mentioning that a 2 also could go in any of these two cells. And that helps us because this being a 4 and a 6, this now also must be a 4 or a 6 because those are the only two values missing from the column. And since there's a 4 already in this row, this now is a 6, this is a 4, and this must be a 6. For row 7, we still need to find a 5, 7, and a 9. There is a 7 and a 9 in this column, making this a 5. And these two now have to be a 7 and a 9. And these two must be a 9 and a 4. There's a 9 already up here, and that puts a 9 in this cell and a 4 here. The 4 here, and the 4 here force a 4 into this cell, making these three a 5, 6, and an 8. 5, 6, and an 8, and there's a 5 and a 6 already in the column. So this is now an 8, and these two have to be a 5 and a 6. And while I'm contemplating that, I'm looking at the 5 here. The 5 prevents a 5 from going here. And that makes this cell, of course, now a 5. And the last digit missing here is going to be a 3. These two cells now have to be a 1 and a 6. And these two have to be a 2 and a 3. Oh, but since this is a 5, this now must be an 8, and this must be a 5. And now, with a clear conscience, we can enter a 5 into this cell like so. And also, because of the 5 up here and the 5 here, we found the 5 now for this cell, and the last digit in the row is the 6. It goes here. The 6 here and here puts a 6 in this cell like so. And I think we are getting very close to solving this once again. These two cells now have to be an 8 and a 9, and these have to be a 2 and a 7. And this cell must be a 2 because we have a 2 already that blocks this cell. And therefore, this is a 7. And now we know where the 7 and the 9 goes down here, and the 7 here and here and here puts a 7 up here. And we have the 9 here now, and that resolves the 8 and the 9 pair. This is now an 8, and this is a 9. The 9 here, here, and here gives us a 9 for row 2, like so. And this cell now must be a 1, and therefore this is a 6. We have a 1 here, and we have a 1 here, so this cell must be a 1, and this one must be an 8. Now we just need to find the 2 for one of these two cells. And since there's a 2 in this row already, this is a 2. And the last digit that we were missing here is going to be a 3. I am very happy that I managed to solve this puzzle one more time, and this time without a fluke that enabled me to solve it the first time, but a fluke that I still don't know how to explain. So this was a very clean solve, I think, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and please come back for more. Goodbye for now.